Oh God, we're about to get real deep because I have really not read these in a while. Okay. Hey guys, it's Mikayla. Welcome back to my channel. Long time no see. I wanted to film a video mostly for myself, and maybe it'll help some of you guys too. 24 things I learned in 24 years. It was supposed to be 23 things I learned in 23 years. We didn't get around to that, but I'm 24 now, you know? Comment below whether I'm in my early 20s or mid 20s. I'm still having a debate about that. I'm not okay about it. These 24 things are things that I've written down over the past, honestly, like year and a half, and I haven't gone back to read them. So it's going to be all kinds of advice in no particular order, and it's gonna be very fresh because I have not even read these in a while, so let's go. Number one, there's always something free to do. Obviously you can spend money, you know, go to dinner, go to movies, all of that stuff is great, super fun, obviously pre-pandemic times. But if you don't have a lot of money, find something free to do. Quick example, last summer my boyfriend and I attended a beer festival. Both of us hate beer, but it was such a fun experience, just like testing ourselves and challenging ourselves to like try something new, and it was completely free. So moral of the story, there's always something free to do. If you don't have money, that doesn't mean you can't have fun. Number two, your happiness is the most important thing. Personally, when people ask like what I want to do, what I want to be, any question that resembles that, my answer is always that I want to be happy. Whether that's having a lot of money, whether that's not having a lot of money, it is different for everyone. But for me, being happy is way more important than having a typical successful career or any other stereotypical form of success. I want to be happy. Life is too short. If you're in a career you don't want to be in, get out. If you're doing something you don't want to do, stop and start doing something you love. Life's too short. Number three, you have to get more than one good night's sleep to make up for many nights of not getting sleep. I wrote down, for me, it apparently took 4 days of getting good sleep in a row to feel an actual difference in my energy, but don't be sleep deprived for a week and then think that one night of sleep is going to make a difference. It's not. It has to be consistent. Number four is make friends with the people that work at your local fast food places or just local restaurants in general. I actually came where I live now to West Palm Beach for 2 months last summer for the job I had. And when I went back to Tallahassee, the Starbucks near my house, like the barista told me it's been so long since I've seen you, and like asked me how I was doing, and like that was just such a nice feeling of just like being welcome and like having that sense of community. So be nice to the people who work in that type of industry because they go through it, and obviously, you know, it's nice to be nice and sometimes you get stuff out of it too. Number five is really near and dear to my heart, and I'm going to read this so I do not mess it up. It's easy to feel inferior when all you're comparing yourself to are your peers, the people who are doing exactly what you are doing, similarly situated. Get out, talk to different people, and meet people from different backgrounds that have different experiences. For me personally, this is just a weird thing that I had an issue with, but I was in law school with people who were also in law school, who were also really successful at a young age, who've also done everything I've done, and it kind of made me start feeling like I wasn't doing anything good. Like I was just kind of like mediocre. Like I was like, okay, whatever. But then you talk to somebody else and they're like, oh my God, you're in law school? Like that's crazy. And it makes you realize, like, first of all, don't compare yourself to anyone, but we all do it because we're human. So just keep in mind what you're doing a good job. Even if everybody around you is doing the same thing you're doing, that does not mean you're not doing a great job. And vary the people you talk to so you're reminded of that. Number six, it is okay to splurge on things that make you happy. I don't care what it is. There are people all the time who are like, oh, you buy $5 Starbucks every day? Like that's such a waste of money. Okay, there's people going out and buying $80 makeup palettes and $80 foundations. I don't do that, but I don't go and tell them that that's a waste of money because that makes them happy. And if I want to spend $5 a day on coffee, I'm going to. If I want to spend $60 a week on a massage, I'm going to. Like, do what makes you happy, even if in some people's minds it's a waste of money, because whatever is good for your mental health, I promise you is not a waste. Number seven, getting older sucks because you can't see your friends on your birthday anymore. What I mean by that is up until about 2 years ago, my friends would always come up for my birthday, come down for my birthday, come over for my birthday, whatever. Where I moved and went to college, I was 3 hours away from my hometown. So my friends from my hometown would always come to Tallahassee for my birthday, spend the weekend with me. And as you get older, people get jobs, people have other responsibilities, people move to different places, and it just sucks. Like, that's not really advice. Not all of these are gonna be advice, but that's just something I realized, and it's just something you're gonna have to accept. Number 8, be nice to people, be kind to people. I know everyone's probably heard this before, but you know when a random person gives you a compliment, oh my God, like your hair's so pretty. Like, oh my God, where'd you get that shirt? It looks so good. I like your car, like whatever it is. You know how when people say that to you, it makes your day? I think we tend to forget that saying that to other people makes their day too. So whatever it is, if you're watching a person exist and you're like, oh wow, like her shoes are really cute. Oh, I really like his backpack, like whatever it is, go tell them. I know it's kind of nerve-wracking sometimes, but like go tell them because I promise it's gonna make their day. Number 9, everyone always has something to offer. Don't ride people off because they are different or uncool or whatever the situation is, because those end up being some of the best, most interesting people. If you surround yourself with people who are only exactly like you, who's gonna challenge you? How are you going to learn anything? How are you going to experience new things? However, if you meet someone who is maybe not your typical type of person you'd interact with, have a conversation with them because I guarantee you, you might learn something and you might make a friend out of it. Number 10, another one that's very near and dear to me because it's something I'm still struggling with to this day. Just because you learn something, guys, doesn't mean you always implement it, okay? But number 10 is your mindset is the most influential thing in your life. What do I mean by that? The simplest way this can be put is you can be going through a terrible time, but have a positive outlook in life, and you're going to remain positive. You're going to be happier generally. Or everything in your life can be going perfectly, but you're still not happy because you're focusing on the few negative things that are there. This is something that I'm still working on, but honestly, your mindset regarding everything that's going on in your life is so much more important than what's actually going on in your life. So obviously continue to work on improving the things in your life, but at the same time, and arguably more importantly, work on improving your mindset, because even if you have everything in the world, if your mindset's not there to match it, you're still not gonna be happy. Number 11, another one I still have issues with. Okay, just because something bad is happening in your life does not mean that that is now how your life is. Most of the time it's temporary. I personally, my brain, I don't know why, but when something's going on, I'm like, oh, well, that's my new normal. This is just how things are now. No, most of the time it's gonna end in a day, a week, whatever. Like it's often temporary. And the moral of this story is before making a decision that this is just how your life is, this is the new normal, give it some time to pass, focus on the positive and give it time to pass. And likely most of the time it will. Number 12, it is never, ever too late to have a fresh start. I don't care how old you are. I don't care if you've been in your career for 30 years and you're too scared about switching. It's never too late to start fresh. Never. Really quick thing I heard the other day. There's a word for this, there's a phrase for this, a term for this. Take it with a grain of salt. But basically, let's say you've been in your career for 10 years. A lot of people would think, oh, I can't switch careers. I would be wasting the 10 years I already put in. Like that would be terrible. That would be such a waste. But think about it. You're probably gonna be doing that career for what, 20, 30 more years? In order for you to avoid wasting the first 10 years, you're now going to waste the next 20 or 30. Does that make any sense? Think about it. Like that does not make any sense. Whatever's happened in the past, it's in the past. You're not wasting anything, okay? You did what you did for whatever time you did it for, and now you're moving on to the next thing, and that's okay. I don't care if you're 20, I don't care if you're 60. If you want to do something, do it. Number 13 kind of goes with number 12. You are never too old to follow your dreams and act on a passion. For example, I, at some point in my life, want to take singing lessons. Why? Because I want to take singing lessons. I don't plan on making a career singing, but I think that's something that I would enjoy. I think that's something from my childhood that I would love to bring into my adulthood. And whether I start now, whether I start again when I'm like 50, it doesn't matter. Like you're never too old to do what you want to do. Number 14, I think is really important, and that is to enjoy your life right now. Another word for this or another phrase for this is live in the moment. Another thing I have trouble with. But I often reminisce on how my life used to be, how close my basketball team was in high school, how close I was with my mock trial teammates in undergrad college. Like there's always something you can look back on and compare your current life to and be like, oh, I miss how things used to be. They were so amazing. But when you were in that period, you were doing the same thing with the previous periods. And the period I'm in now, I will probably be looking back on in the future and doing the same thing with. So the point is, enjoy the now. The now is just as important, if not more, than the past, and at some point it will be the past, so enjoy it while you can. Number 15, you are not alone. The people who are around you are likely going through the exact same thing as you, but everyone's afraid to speak up for fear of being alienated, singled out, made fun of, whatever the reason is. But more often than not, your peers, your friends, people who go to class with you, people who are at your job, whatever your situation is, you probably have people that are going through something similar than you're going through, and it's really just a matter of who's gonna speak up first to get that support. So be the one to speak up. Okay, number 16, I remember I wrote a very long time ago, but it's kind of still valid. The gym doesn't really help you lose weight. I said it, okay? The gym has so many benefits and it will aid in weight loss to an extent, but if we're really talking about major weight loss here, it's food. It's food, it's your diet, and I'm not a dietitian, so I'm not gonna sit here and tell you what you should and should not be eating, but I've always been able to lose weight when I've been tracking my food and eating less calories, regardless of whether I'm even going to the gym or not. Number 17 is speak up for what you believe in. Not for what your friends believe in, not for what you think you should believe in, not for what people are telling you should believe in, but what you truly feel and what you truly believe, because you're going to feel so much better afterward. Number 18 is sit down and really think about what you want out of life and make a plan to get there. And the moral of this is your plan does not have to be the same as someone else's plan, even if you guys have the exact same goal. Two completely different paths can lead to the same destination, and your plan might be different than someone else's. But the point of this is don't feel like things have to go a specific way to end up how you want it, even if that's how it's been done in the past. That might not be your story. And on top of that, make room for change. It's way easier said than done, but oftentimes things not going the exact way you planned is because they're going to end up going better than you could have imagined. Number 20 is if you miss someone, reach out to them, tell them, comment on their Instagram picture, text them and tell them you hope they're having a good day. Like, reach out, because I promise you guys, more often than not, they're thinking about you too, they're missing you too. And it's another one of those situations where who's gonna say it first? But it'll probably make their day to hear from you. So just say something. Number 21 is to do your absolute best to be in tune with what you need to work on. For example, lately I've noticed that I hate being vulnerable and I get embarrassed really easily. I don't know where that came from, but the self-awareness that I have with that is what's going to allow for improvement there. So really just, be with yourself, think about what you really need to work on as a person, and that's the first step in actually working on it. Number 22, you might not be losing weight because you're dehydrated. Drink water, okay? When I started my weight loss journey, like my first weight loss journey, I've had a few now, but when I started my first one, I lost 5 pounds in the first 4 days, and I did not change my diet, and I did not go to the gym. Drink water, okay? Like, your body, if it's that dehydrated, it will hold on to every single drop of water it gets, AKA water weight. But when you start feeding it a constant amount of water, it will be like, okay, we don't have to hold on to this as long in weight loss. 23 is, it is okay to not be okay. You can't be on all the time, and sometimes you're going to just have to go through a period of time where you're not happy. And it sucks and it's terrible, but honestly, you have to have those lows in order for you to feel the highs. If you were happy all the time, would you actually ever be happy? And number 24 is something that I've learned very, very recently, and that's the importance of making goals for yourself. Recently, I learned this quote, and it's, a person without goals is like a ship without a sail. You're going to be doing whatever you're going to be doing regardless, but you're not going to have a direction and where to go. And personally, I need to have those goals that I can hit to feel that sort of purpose and accomplishment. So make short-term goals, whether that's applying one of the things from this video, and make long-term goals. Make goals that you can achieve and things that you actually want to achieve, so you'll increase the odds of actually achieving them. And with that being said, that's the end of the video, guys. I really, really hope that I was able to help someone in some way. And if not, I know I will be able to help myself when I look back on this. Hopefully somebody can take something from this video and it'll help them grow, because growth is so important in this world. And yeah, I'm gonna continue to learn. I'm gonna keep getting older, keep growing up, and I will most likely be making another one of these in the future. But that's about it for today. So if you guys like this, give it a thumbs up. Leave a comment down below if this helped you or if you guys have any questions in general. And yeah, I will see you in my next video. Bye.